My name is Christine, and this is my presentation for the Manchester Global Award. As part of the award, I enrolled on a 10-credit module in my second year called Becoming Global, and furthermore, I have now spent 3 years as an international student from Norway at the University of Manchester. When I moved to Manchester, everything was unfamiliar: the place, the people, the food, university life and studying. However, the one thing that I understood and was familiar with was the language. As an international student from Norway, I've lost count of how often I've been asked the question, why then, coming from one of the richest and happiest countries in the world, did you decide to study abroad? Rather than focus on the negative surface issues of leaving such a good environment, I decided to focus on the amazing cultural and learning opportunities moving to England has given me. After all, I have no regrets with my choice, and I realise the brilliant position I am in after 3 years of being here. I jumped into the unknown with a task in mind that I needed to improve my very American English. I was often told that English is the language of the world, and being fluent in it will increase your chance of landing your dream job. I was about to completely immerse myself in a new language and culture, going beyond the purely academic experience. However, the value of having an international experience clearly goes far beyond the acquisition of language. I believe that with my desire to go abroad, I already had the urge to experience different cultural perspectives and values. Still, I think there is a need to be mindful and to appreciate these personal and cultural issues from a perspective other than my own. The Becoming Global unit addresses the awareness and skills which are required for effective participation in a global environment. It has taught me to actively look for other perspectives to gain a better understanding of the bigger picture, both in my academic work and everyday life. As the unit had an educational focus on sustainability, I researched how the Coca-Cola Company have managed to get such a strong foothold in almost all the corners of the world. I was seeking out and engaging with both local and global perspectives, especially in India, to analyse the company's marketing strategy and the impact it had on the communities it influenced. At my time here in Manchester, I have been studying social anthropology, a course I knew very little about before I started it. There was, however, something really appealing about the description of it, as a comparative study of the ways in which people live differently in social and cultural settings. I have therefore, over these last years, come ever more to terms with the fact that societies across the globe vary enormously in the way that we engage and organise ourselves and practice our cultural beliefs. Alongside my studies, I worked at the University Students' Union. Working with British and international colleagues and customers, I developed a variety of skills such as behavioural flexibility, where I adapted my behaviour to different situations and requirements, and communicative awareness. For example, during my time working there, I realised differences in communicating where my colleagues and friends had a way of talking jokingly to each other, a humour which is often on other people's expense, which I was not used to coming from Norway. I had also, after my reflection with the Coca-Cola Company, become more aware of all the products that I was selling. Sometimes it can be tiring to listen to and be around people who have different values and beliefs to you. The Becoming Global module has made me understand that in order to live in a peaceful society with equal rights, we have to listen to each other and understand each other. I believe you are a strong and independent person when you are able to challenge and change your own opinions and perspectives. There is nothing wrong with people or places who challenge the way we think. Exploring perspectives and people's position on certain issues which might conflict with our own will not harm us. It will only help us to better understand the roots of the issues we are exploring. Effective communication and respect for all cultures is vital when we live in such a diverse world, making us not only look at the surface but look deeper into the issues that we encounter. We need to accept that not everyone sees the world in the same way as ourselves, and this is not necessarily a bad thing. This has made me realise that we cannot decide to dislike people or places without even trying to understand them or see it from their point of view. In the future, I hope that not only my degree, but my international experience and the benefits which I have gained from this will take me places. Places where I have a meaningful and inspiring job and where I meet inspiring people. I've already proven to myself that I am able to make big decisions which have had a massive influence on my life and who I am as a person, and this is something I am proud of. One of the biggest benefits I've taken from this experience are the lifelong relationships I have formed. These relationships have been very personally rewarding, and they will be invaluable networking tools for me later in life. Living in a different country and gaining an understanding of a completely different culture have at times been very overwhelming, but I have strived to understand people of different cultures and I have grown from these encounters. It has really tested my ability to adapt to diverse and difficult situations, but this has shown me my ability to engage with a variety of people and that I am not afraid to seek out new challenges. This has really been an experience like no other. There is a need to acquire skills in relation to cultural awareness as our world becomes more interconnected. I will continue to engage in an international community and be open-minded towards the people I encounter. After 3 years, I do not just consider myself to be an international student, since I have been able to adapt the way of living and form long-lasting relationships with people from the host nation that I love. The Becoming Global unit has taught me that the importance of communicating with international awareness to a global audience. We all have different views and opinions, but rather than viewing this as negative, I see it as a further way to understand and discuss the issues that we find important.